there, and wallahi it's empty, there's hardly anyone even there. And I started crying because, you know, wallahi it's very emotional. Assalamu alaikum brothers and sisters, I hope you're all well. I basically decided, I thought that I would share with you a small reminder about a story which took place with me last year, and maybe inshallah one of you can benefit from this story. And once I've told you this story, the message that we learn is basically never ever underestimate any good deed, because it may be a small little deed and it may be small in our eyes, but on the day of judgment, you know, maybe it will help us a lot. So basically this story transpired with me last year. At the start of the year in January 2018, I basically decided that I would go for Umrah. What happened during this period of time is one day for Salat al-Fajr, I attended Masjid al-Haram for Salah. And straight after the Salah had finished, you know, as I said, we recited the Quran. And then I decided, you know, because I've prayed Nawafil, it's time and whatnot, we're a bit tired, so I'll go to the hotel room. My hotel was very far. I'm just going through the alleyways and I was just on my phone. I looked up and there's a man standing there, an old man. And he's wearing the ihram, and you can see that the man is very, very old, and you know, he's looking very weak. So he's saying something to me, and I didn't hear him properly, and he gives me this card. So he gives me the card, and I look at the card, and you know, straight away I realized that this is actually an address for a hotel. So I immediately understood, because you know, this happens a lot in the haram. If you've ever been for Umrah, you know that many people get lost. It's very normal. You know, I myself, when I was young, I got lost many times. So I see this card, I'm thinking, you know, maybe this old man, you know, his hotel is nearby. And wallahi, you know, when I looked at this man's face, you could tell, you know, the effects, you know, of tiredness. You could tell that this man was very exhausted and fatigued. And he's holding a bag, 2 bags, you know, he's got a bag on his back, he's got a backpack, and he's got a carrier bag with, you know, his items and luggage and things. So I say to the man that, you know, what's your problem? Are you lost? What's going on? And the man says to me that, you know, I'm lost. And I look at the card and I look properly at where the address is, and straight away in big letters it says there, Masjid Jinn. And straight away I realized that I can't take in Masjid Jinn. You know, I'm on one side of the haram, which is like 20 minutes away, and if I go to Masjid Jinn, walking approximately, it would have taken me an hour easily. You know, it was a few kilometers away from the haram area. So what happened was, at that time, I said to him, you know, I pointed him in that direction. I said, you know, you should go this way. And then I was having second thoughts. I was thinking, you know, should I go? You know, I've been doing Umrah, I've been doing Ibadah, you know, this time I'm very tired. You know, my feet were swollen, because if you go to Haram and you keep doing Tawaf, you know, your feet get tired as well. So I was thinking, should I take this man? You know, and I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to have to walk for 1 hour, and I'm going to have to take this man all this way. I don't mean to say that, you know, I'm a pious person, look at my good deeds, but maybe I'm just trying to inspire you. So what happened, I went to the nearest taxi I could see. I asked him, you know, can you take this man there? And they all refused for some reason, you know. And at the time, I don't think I had any money on me. And the old man, he also, you know, he had his money and his passport and everything with his children. And this man is tired, and he's saying that he performed You know, I thought, you know what, for the sake of Allah, you know, I'm come to this blessed place, so I thought I'll help this man for the sake of Allah. So then what happened is, we began to walk in the direction of the haram, and you know, we're walking all the way, and it takes about 15, because the man, you know, he's extremely weak, you know, it takes 20-25 minutes to get to the Masjid al-Haram first. And we're just, you know, extremely tired. I'm just trying to keep him happy. So as we're walking, you know, I'm taking loads of breaks as well. You know, I have to be patient with old people, so, you know, and so taking this man, you know, giving him breaks, I'm making sure that he's drinking water because he's thirsty. We came to the hotel. Should I leave this man here, or should I go inside the hotel? So I thought, you know, you've come all this way, you've done this effort for this man, for the sake of Allah, you know, Allah will give you reward, you know, don't turn back now, you know what I mean. So I took the man inside the hotel, and wallah, he must have taken about 30-40 minutes just to find the room key. So it's nearly an hour of waiting in the lounge of the hotel. Finally we got the key, and he was like on one of the highest floors of the hotel, so I'm thinking, I really have to go all the way up there, or can I just leave him here? So I take him in the elevator, and we go right up to the room. And we're trying the key in the room, and it's not working. I'm saying, Ya Allah, we've come all this way, we've got the key from the hotel, and the door's not opening now, we're stuck, all this for nothing. So we're trying at the door, trying, you know, I gave the card to him, he's scanning it, gave it to me, he scanned it, and I was making dua, Ya Allah, please help us, we come all this way, all this effort, don't just leave us now. And then, you know, like, someone taps you on the back, and I look back, and it says son. And the man's shocked and he gets happy, he gets elated that, his son's here to help him now. So he's feeling happy. Alhamdulillah, after all this, at least I got this old man here. They were very happy. They said to me, you can't go without us feeding you. We have to give you food. I was thinking, you've come all this way. So, brothers and sisters, we should always do whatever we do purely for the sake of Allah. Don't ever think that, I want the ajr in the dunya. You know what I mean? Because basically the ulama say that foolish is the person who wants his reward in this dunya. So what happened is, I was saying to them, no, I don't want nothing, because I was thinking, I don't want the reward in this world, this temporary. My reward is Allah. And they were asking my name, and I was just trying to stay anonymous. Don't think I'm the most pious person there. I'm just trying to basically show you how far these thoughts can go. So I was basically saying to the man, no, I don't want nothing. I'm just saying, make dua for me. And I left. And when I left the hotel, and I remembered something that took place a few days ago. When we were on the tour bus, we were going past, these famous places, the historical places like of Islam. And one of the places that we went past was Jannah al-Mawla. Basically, it's a graveyard in Makkah. And if you've been for Umrah, rarely does anyone know about this graveyard. Because like when you go to Medina, in the courtyard of Medina, there's Jannah al-Baqi. Everyone's been there. Everyone knows about this, all the Sahaba are buried there. But when it comes to Makkah, the graveyard, because it's a bit of a distance from Masjid Haram, not many people go there. So I was thinking, we went past that graveyard, but I've never been there in my life. But I'm thinking this chance is never going to come again, because I decided that, I might as well go this once in life opportunity. So I go to the graveyard, and I'm looking around there, and wallahi it's empty. There's hardly anyone even there, and hardly anyone knows English. These graves in Saudi, they're not marked. They don't have any names, so you don't know whose grave is whose. So I think Allah brought me here today, and look in which circumstances He brought me to here. Wallahi, I had no intention to even come to this place, and Allah brought me here. So I walk around the whole graveyard, and just when I'm about to give up, I'm thinking I might as well go now. I'm not really understanding what this place is. So I'm just walking, and there's this special part of the graveyard that has like glass around it. So I'm thinking this is maybe the grave of Hazrat Khadija or some other Sahabi. So I walk up to this here, and I see two people standing there making dua, and the rest of the graveyard is empty. So I'm thinking this has to be the place, but I'm not really sure because no one's telling me. So I'm coming up to the grave, and I stand there. Listen to this, brothers and sisters. I'm standing next to the grave. There's a glass screen there. There's a wall there. So there's no connection between me and what's happening on the other side. It's absolutely like a wall there. And I'm standing there, and wallahi, brothers and sisters, I swear by Allah, wallahi, I could smell fresh flowers emanating from this grave. I'm looking around thinking, are there any flowers here? I'm looking, wallahi, I couldn't see a single petal of flower. Because sometimes what people do, they throw flowers on graves. I'm looking around, I can't see, wallahi, one petal. I can see fresh rose coming. And I'm still confused, but I'm thinking this certainly has to be a grave of some, like high status person. And I look to my right, and there's an Arab man crying his eyes out, and he's making dua. And he's making dua for the person in the grave. He's saying, Ya Allah, please have mercy on this person. This person was the most beloved to Rasulullah ﷺ. He making dua and saying, Ya Allah, bless her. She was the first among the believers. And straight away, it hit my heart. And I was thinking, this is the grave of Hazrat Khadija. Who else could it be? That this fresh smell of flowers coming out of this grave. Whose else grave could it be? And me, I understood. And I just stood there, and I started weeping, and I started crying. Because, wallahi, it's very emotional, Like one thing is you hear, one thing is when you feel it directly. And I asked this man, is this the grave of Hazrat Khadija? And he was crying, and he said, yeah, he's the grave of Hazrat Khadija. So, I was astonished, and we made dua. And, we carried on walking. And the man, he was actually from the people of Makkah. So he's actually, his lineage, his forefathers, they're all from Makkah. So he starts to give me a tour, and he says to me, he takes me by all the graves one by one. He says, this grave of this Sahabi, this grave is of this Sahabi. And he even taught me, wallahi, the little details of this grave, the reason why it has 2 stones to signify that he was crucified. And then it goes on to show the other ones, the other graves, like Asma bint Abi Bakr, the sister of Hazrat Aisha radiallahu anha. And he's saying that this is her grave, and he's standing there and he's making dua. He's saying, Ya Allah, yarhamha. He's saying, Ya Allah, have mercy on her. Then he's using a nickname, Ya Dhat al-Nitaqain. That was the special nickname that was given to her by the Prophet ﷺ, because on the day of Hijrah, when they were making Hijrah, there's nothing to tie the camel of Prophet ﷺ, the load onto the camel. So she used her own belt. So from there she was given that nickname. Small little details like this he was giving me around. And this whole time I'm making a video. And you'll see why I mentioned in the video. So the whole time making the video, I recorded this Hazrat Khadija's grave, which you hardly see. Go on YouTube, you'll hardly find any images of it. Hardly anyone knows of it, because it's like unheard of. But Allah granted me all this, gave me exclusive tour, exclusive details. This is so-and-so alim, this is so-and-so famous scholar here, this is so-and-so Sahabi. And he's telling me everything, and we're making dua. And he gives me dua, and then I depart. And right now if you go on my channel YouTube, wallahi, this is my most viewed video on YouTube. Like, I've made nasheeds, I've spent countless money on nasheeds, you know, £300-400 per track, and we've recorded many tracks, but no video has received more views. I'm not trying to basically proclaim the fame of this video, or I'm trying to say that subhanallah, look at how far that one deed that I did for that old man went. That Allah granted me all this, that so many views in the video, the fresh smell coming from the grave, the exclusive tour would not have come if I didn't drop the man off. And that was from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when I went to the Kaaba, you know, I made dua, Ya Allah, thank you so much, I feel honored that you gave me this. And the only reason I ever believed that happened is because I took the old man to there. And you know, many a time, brothers and sisters, you know, something happens and we think, you know, should I do this or not do it? And then we think that, you know, this deed is small, there's no point of doing it. But then, wallahi, brothers and sisters, don't ever underestimate, you know, the value of any good deed. It could be a small deed that looks so small in your eyes, but Allah can give you so much. It could be such a small deed that you think is nothing, but on the day of judgment, when you're with Allah, you'll be granted jannah with this. It comes in the hadith that even the speech that we say, that on the day, you know, sometimes a slave is speaking, and he speaks and he does not know, and he says something which pleases Allah, and is out of his knowledge, and he pleases Allah, and Allah admits him to the inhabitants of Jannah because of this. And many a times what happens is, sometimes we speak bad speech, we backbite, and we don't know. It says in the hadith that the person that has no knowledge of it, and he's written for amongst the people of Jannah. So message from this, brothers and sisters, never ever underestimate the barakah and the value of any good deed. We should always try our best, and inshallah we should expect our reward in akhirah. But sometimes Allah says, what is Allah's habit? Allah says, sometimes if you do good out of sincerity, Allah give you reward in this dunya and in the akhirah. So inshallah, I hope you will benefit from this, and may Allah give us the ability to act on what we said, and to basically value every single deed and not undermine any good deed that we do.